think so. I think Nightpulse, I don't have much faith in them, and I think there is enough speed on Virtus.pro to completely crack them.
This draft is kind of scary. This draft from VP, if they can play it well enough in the laning phase, the early mid game is terrifying. But we will see what they pull off as now the game has begun. Both teams smoked up, trying to get the vision out, make sure that we have positioning around these runes. I think Nightpulse especially would love to be able to find an early blood. If you find an early first blood, get like some additional juice, ideally into this Void Spirit. You know, protract the amount of time it takes for him to build the Aghanim Scepter. Could be great, but sadly, VP seem to have read that exact move. They're playing very safe. They're not going to get caught out right now.
And level 1 of Nightpulse isn't really all that strong either, right? You can maybe bait them in with a good Resonant Pulse to try and fight the Void Spirit, but overall you don't have great catch, you don't have massive damage, you're not particularly tanky, and on the other side you have 2 stuns. You, what did Invoker start with? Well, nothing just yet, but there are a couple of AoE spells that could be a problem for you.
15 seconds until the horn sounds. They have an observer ward that's scouting out the Phoenix, but instead right now Antares is the one getting gone on. Wolf Stomp will connect onto 2. Antares, blood grenade to slow him down. Lucent Beam comes out from V2. They're gonna just get the damage. Worst case scenario, V2. Well, second worst case scenario. Would have been terrible if Invoker got the kill. But nonetheless, Luna getting a good start like this. Okay.
Yeah. Surprised they allowed that to happen. You know that the Lash is a squishy hero and you just run into 3 enemies. You were kind of aware where they were. And you still go down. The Centaur, there's no way he would have died to even those 3 from the start. I don't know why he just wasn't the one in front and the one taking the damage. But mistakes happen, it's fine.
Yep, these things do occur. Antares did burn back half the HP pool of Omni Knight in the top lane, but down bottom, Broodmother, Batrider. This, on paper, sounds like a very disgusting lane to be playing against. Should any of these heroes, Kiritich or Immersion, be afraid of dying in this situation?
Not really. I don't think so. If you do not harass the opponents, yes, they do have some kill potential, but the thing is that you will be harassing them, right? Your 2 range heroes. Invoker is dropping low though. Squadex needs to be careful.
Alright. All his spells are on cooldown right now, so not going to be able to make the aggressive jump forward, but still putting Squadex under pressure. Unfortunately for him, this is an Invoker that has access to these Quas Orbs, so he'll be fine.
That lifesteal is so huge.
Okay. Yeah.
Man,
so it's crazy,
like,
honestly. I don't know why they added this into the game, honestly.
So that we would ask ourselves, why did they add this into the game? But it is quite fun. I've seen a couple of games. Invoker drops to 50 HP, gets given a Solar Crest, and suddenly just gets back 300, 400 HP and survives. It is quite good.
And Joker out here doing his thing. Should end up losing the lane in the CS department to the Void Spirit, but we'll be fine overall. I feel like we're not going to get that much action until at least like level 4, level 5 middle. It's going to be a farm trade overall.
He's struggling a bit though, right? 5 CS is pretty underwhelming. Sure, the Void Spirit doesn't have that much either, but 5 is not good. And it shouldn't get much better.
By the way, do you remember the days when, as a Centaur, you wouldn't be super happy with this lane? But now you're just like, ha! Dude, Luna, whatever, dude. I'm just going to farm for free. Look at the Centaur go 15-2 in the CS department right now.
Yeah, that was a very long time ago. Right nowadays, if you have any kind of follow-up damage support, the Centaur is just a beast that pretty much can kill anybody in the lane. There is a couple of heroes, like a TA, let's say the lane versus the Centaur, but the Centaurs have started beating Lifestealers at some point. Sure, not in the meta now, but even when he was.
Bro, TA, that's a hero I haven't heard the name of. I haven't seen a Templar Assassin in so long.
Which is weird. She's always part of the meta. B-Tune, he is being smacked. We'll live.
Thankfully, we had the assistance being rendered in by the Omni Knight, so will be a-okay. It'll be fine. Hudo make sure that this Luna will live.
Well, 10 CS is not really fine, right? You want to say you're fine, but you're really not. That's how it
Might not
goes.
be fine now though, because here is the damage coming in. Noticed, gonna be able to find that kill with the help of Antares.
Another
Antares,
one.
in fact, collects a double kill. Throwing out the damage onto this Omni Knight as well. That is not what they want to see on the side of Night Pulse. Your safe lane losing like that, getting their lives taken away. Oof, that is pain and suffering.
Night Bulls are just underperforming. I don't know why, but VTune wouldn't be dying like that a month ago. And I don't know what changed. The only thing I can maybe think about is that they watched the eye and didn't really play in that at that time, and now they're just trying to get back into good form. Because it is individual mistakes generally which are always costing Night Bulls these games.
Isn't it wild to you sometimes how not playing Dota for a week makes you so much worse at the game?
Yeah, it's insane, right? But you generally get back fast into the game anyways, even if you don't play a week, even if you don't play for half a year or a year, you get back into it rather quickly. But those first couple of games, that first couple of days, it is impossible to play Dota at all.
The CS numbers right now, Virtus.pro leading the charge. I like how they're playing in the top lane, constantly putting the pressure underneath this tier 1, making sure that they have availability to dive if need be. They might just go onto this Omni Knight. Omni does have Repel, he will commit it, so knows he's not going to be able to get off the hoof stomp. Unfortunately though, with the lightning stun, they should be, or lightning slow him up. There's a split earth as well, and he's trying his best, but he knows that there is no option. Hudo killed off on this Omni Knight, and that's a third kill, not just in favor of VP, but in favor of this top lane here, Harry.
Yep, it's looking good for them. They are crushing every single lane, and now they're gonna start killing Kami as well. That was a hero that was having a decent-ish lane, and that you would maybe need to rely on a little bit with the rotations from the Void Spirit, and now him dying is another big hit. Very soon we could be seeing Kiritich going for some rotations. This Luna gets stunned on the top lane, and the Nature's Prophet will be coming. I doubt he'll be rotating to the mid lane. That one I would be very surprised with.
Especially not with this Void Spirit about to crack level 6. And speaking of Void Spirit, he's contesting here in the river. We're fighting over a Haste Rune, but the Haste Rune was gotten in the top side of the map. Leshrac comes back with this Haste Rune. They've already killed off this Batrider. Warwick,
is gone.
Here's the rotation. You were surprised by the prospect of him coming middle. And you were correct. He doesn't need to come middle because they have more than enough damage. Antares picking up that Haste Rune, making the huge difference in that play. 2 heroes down. We are now 6-1, a 3k net worth lead, 6.5 minutes into the game.
You see, an unnecessary chase, really. You should know, Void Spirit, until you get like level 8, 9, your damage output isn't that high. He was level 5. Like, what was he thinking? I just can't get around it. That the team or players that were naturally skilled just don't look like themselves. None of them. I just hope there's no bad blood inside of the team, because that could sometimes make you bad as well.
I mean, case in point, last year, XXX, when you were still on Team Aster, playing like absolute trash. But once he left the team, regained his all prowess, showing off that he's still really good. In the top lane, SquadX made the first big Invoker rotation. Unable to kill the Luna, but they should be able to secure the Omni Knight here. This does come well before the Siege Wagon wave, so I don't know if they'll be able to take down the full tower, but nonetheless, SquadX playing very active on this Invoker in this game.
Yeah, he knows that the Void Spirit cannot match it right now. Even with him being level 6, his rotation, unless heroes are very low, aren't going to be giving them much fruit. So he understands just how much difference he can make. Plus, you can always bring 5 heroes as you do have the Nature's Prophet.
NP did go top, take the tier 1 tower. He's going to steal a creep camp that was stacked up by Night Pulse, and then he's just going to twin gate back down bottom. This map play right now for Virtus.pro looking super solid. The question is here,
they're clean.
Now that they have the level 6 on this Void Spirit and an AD rune, can they do anything with this hero?
They probably feel like they have to, right? I always look at the Spirit heroes as 8-minute rune could be good if they're having a good game, but it's usually the 10-minute rune where you have enough levels to really make rotations. So I'd say he uses this AD rune if the enemies are aggressive to TP to the tower and turning it around. Other than that, it's probably not going to be used super aggressively.
So we're going to be slowing down for a bit of a farm pest here. Broodmother has cracked level 6 down bottom for Kami, so we have these spiderlings out. We'll try and apply pressure onto this lane. Skip the wave. Get as many creeps in as possible. Unfortunately, with this Greater Treant, one of the better tools to just stall out these massive waves that are coming in. So easy. Look how easily you take out the range creep. And then all of a sudden this wave is not as strong as it's supposed to be.
Not only that, but 2 Fire Spirits now killed most of the Broodlings, and the Phoenix is level 6, right? It's a problem. Janter has other problem.
This guy doesn't have problems, bro. They just sent him for a nice bath. VP are being very nice to him.
Okay, yeah, sure. I guess dead men really do not have that many problems, do they?
Not at all. This game. Night Pulse, 8-1 behind right now. AD Rune will get activated by Warwick, but nobody's nearby him right now to try and make a big move with. And they bring Janter back in as well. Immersion coming up on the high ground. Gonna just put some pressure here. He does have the Supernova if need be. And they know this on the side of Night Pulse. There's no way you're gonna go low ground into a Phoenix before you get the easy jump. Antares though, a bit more of an easier prospect to go onto, but nonetheless they still lack the damage to bring him down. Squad X moving forward with this Invis rune, gets a tornado out onto Kami, and they get out the Supernova. Will they be able to destroy this? It's only level 1 with no Fire Spirits, so yes, it is dead. But that being said, Antares is in here, going in. The damage from the Diabolic Edict not gonna be enough. They get out with the Omni, they get out with the Batrider, and all of a sudden that's 2 supports lost, and Night Pulse finally striking back in this game.
Yep, unnecessary aggression from Virtus.pro. I thought when they were coming that they're most definitely going to be bringing in the Nature's Prophet, but Kiritich didn't really want to join. They didn't even use the Stampede. Virtus.pro were kind of half-assing that engagement, which is weird versus an AD rune of the Void Spirit. Either you go in and you fight if you think that you're going to crush them, or you let it go, and they did neither.
Sometimes indecision is the greatest harm in life. This VP will make the decision to try and get Squad X more involved in these fights. He's going in for this Witchblade build in this game, so he's smoked up. They find Kami. Tornado will be there, with the Cold Snap available as well. Split Earth ensures that he has nowhere to run, and Squad X gets credited with that kill. Perfect situation for them. And this also zones away the Broodmother bottom, so Kiritich immediately forces himself forward to mount this push on the tier 1 tower.
I'm really liking how Antares is every single time connecting with the Split Earth after the Tornado, right? It's not super easy because Tornado duration changes throughout the game, so you all used to it.
Gonna have a contest here over this Ancient stack. The Batrider gonna end up losing his life. Shanta took way too much damage, and now it's also gonna be the same situation for the Omni Knight. 2 supports lost, and he still lost the majority of that stack, Harry. That was not worth it from the side of Night Pulse.
It's a catastrophe, right? And we're just saying that Virtus.pro are in every part of the map better. There's the Stampede. Kami is in so much trouble.
He's trying to juke and jive here through the trees, and he manages to do
Fine.
so. They did not bring the cans of Raid and Doom, so they have no way to kill the bug. Very well done by Kami in that situation.
This is one of the heroes that you want to take down once you have the blink on the Centaur, which seems like he's gonna be getting, right? Because he hasn't bought any of the small items for the pipe, and with this stack, it's gonna be just enough money for the blink. Yep, there it is.
Blink Blade Mail. Blade Mail, excellent item versus the Luna. So I would not be surprised if we try to make another maneuver happen as soon as that Blink Dagger does arrive.
At least V-Tune is farming okay, right? If you look at it, he's only 500 gold away from the top network chart hero, and this is a fast farming hero, the Luna, so we can expect him to get close to the top, if not overtake everybody in the next couple of minutes.
Luna, I think, is honestly the most satisfying hero to farm with. Well, actually, no, second most satisfying. The most satisfying hero is the Battle Fury Anti-Mage. By far the most satisfying farm hero in the game.
Oh boy, I'm just listening these dirty carry stories, right? This hero is so good to farm with. Oh yeah, that's so exciting. I'm gonna be hitting creeps for 20 minutes. Awesome.
Bro, I still miss the days when I could hit creeps for 30 minutes before getting involved. That was good times.
Yeah. The only thing you are being warmed up because you're switching threads on the anti-mage at least.
Yes,
But this
yes,
is a
yes.
smoke. This is dangerous for Virtus.pro because Nightballs are gonna be reacting to the side.
And they go in. They wanted to find Antares, but the hoof stomp from Centaur caught the Void Spirit. He's in such danger.
Oh,
He ends up
boy.
dying, brought down by the gang of Virtus.pro. The idea was there, Harry. They see Antares. They're like, if we can remove this Leshrac, that's a huge contingent of magic damage. But unfortunately, I don't think they scouted the Blink Dagger on the Centaur. They did not know that the counter initiation was coming from Noticed.
And they lost the Wisdom Rune as well. This is, I mean, disaster would be putting it mildly, right? And because whatever you try hasn't worked out. The one move that you had that was kind of good, you reading what your enemies want to do, just showed you that the enemies are 10 times stronger than you. So what can you rely on? You can only rely on enemies' mistakes. And usually a Brood is the type of hero that can maybe force those out if he pushes a tier 2. You haven't even taken a single tier 1, so we are miles away from cutting some mistakes.
Why has that been a theme of today's Dota in Eastern Europe, that the teams that are losing are struggling to even take tier 1 towers? Even if they have decent lanes, for some reason, they're just unable to make that progress on the map.
It's weird, right? I think it's just inability to recognize when you can trade towers, right? And that's it. For me, it's probably a little bit of a leadership issue. Plus, when a team is winning, they are overtaking the game by storm, right? And in Eastern Europe, we still see these stomps from time to time.
Speaking of stomps, the hoof stomp comes out onto Warwick. Here's the Gleipnir reveal from
Needs help.
Kiricic. Not enough to kill off Warwick just yet, but with the Stampede, they chase him down, they kill him. Budwo dies too. Is Kiricic able to catch up to him? So that's 2 heroes in a hurry. Man, that's 2 fights back to back where a new item being revealed absolutely changes things. Last time it was this Blink Dagger from Noticed. This time around it was this Gleipnir from Kiricic. Nightpulse just do not have the tools to deal with all of this right now from VP.
And this is just what happens when you're far ahead, right? Every single fight there comes a new item because you control majority of the map, you're getting the majority of the kills, thus your net worth is gonna be raised much, much faster than what the EM can even perceive or let alone be able to mirror themselves. So I'm scared for Nightpulse. Once they get the Manta on the Luna, we're probably gonna try and fight. The problem lies in you've already lost the tier 2. It's only 16 and a half minutes of the game, and even more will follow in the next couple of minutes.
Another big problem is that if you look at the awards that they have, both of them very defensive in nature. So even if they did get that new item, felt confident enough to fight, where do you
Oh,
go?
they got
What
Kami.
moves do you make? Bottom lane, Kami yet again caught out, and this time around they have all the tools necessary. They squish the bug. No Brood Mother for another 30 seconds. Might not be done just yet. Janta potentially looking for a lasso, but the vision was there from Squadix, so they find the Batrider and they kill him. Warwick decides to make the jump in onto
You don't
Squadix.
have damage.
He's fighting into an ice wall, but like you say, there's no damage. Antares comes in on the backlines, throwing in a lot of these spells. V2 trying to TP out. He threw out the Eclipse, but it did literally nothing. 4 heroes are dead, and they call it. GG, well played, has called the earliest game of these qualifiers, potentially the earliest game we've seen all year. 17 minutes, 28 seconds, and Virtus.pro claim game number 1 with an absolute... Lots more burst, lots more activity. The thing I like more about this draft, though, is they basically don't have cooldowns. Like, this is a very high skirmishing, high octane draft. If they play this properly and are constantly on the map, constantly skirmishing, constantly putting pressure onto VP, this will definitely be a better game than game 1.
Oh, VTune got some tips. I don't know what he wrote. I mean, what it means. A lot of the times I can translate what they're writing. Now I'm completely lost to what that word means.
Maybe you're saying, guys, please don't treat me like LOL, bro. Let me play Dota.
Yeah, well, the entirety of Nightpulse got treated like Larl in the previous series.
Quick D ward here in this mid lane. Take away the VP ward from this lane. Okay. Giving some space towards Warwick. And some
Let's
free gold.
go! Right, but even in the previous game, they got the first blood, so arguably even better than a ward takedown.
Night Pulse. They did place this fairly interesting ward down bottom as well, in front of this Morphling. Trying to get themselves as good a position as possible, primarily just to know when the Treant Protector is coming back in to put in these waves. You just send in the Hoodwink to interrupt that. Make sure that you still have an advantage in the laning phase itself for the Sand King.
It is going to be a rough one, though. Hoodwink is probably just going to be stacking quite a lot. That is usually what you do. And Antares and VTune, smacking each other. Antares, VTune a little bit more, but overall, you block the wave a bit, you get into the tower, the region kicks in, and you're back up to full, so neither of them are going to be too mad.
Kami just blocking this wave, getting the creep wave underneath the tier 1 tower. Kiritich, not going to really be able to stop this one, unfortunately. But it is Morphling, so farming underneath the tier 1 tower, not really that big of a deal for you.
He got 2 CS, there's the third one, did everything right. Ah, man, messed it up on the range creep a bit.
That's your fault, bro. You cost us custom. You should have let him finish the wave first and then praise him.
Is it my fault for Antares as well? I don't think so, right? It's their fault.
No, it is your fault because when the Antares Nyx came out, you were like, oh, this is a perfect Nyx game. So it's, well, partially my fault. I was gassing up the Nyx before, but we have to share blame for that first blood.
Yeah, no problem. And is it the same thing? Yeah, Antares died in the previous game as well. He just was not in the lane, but just a little bit before it.
Down on his Leshrac, but now he's chilling. One thing I love about this Nyx Assassin pick, and why I love seeing it so much against these Enchantresses, when you have Nyx versus Enchantress, right, all of a sudden, you're not really feeling super confident playing with the Enchant, knowing that the Mind Flare is going to be available. Because just look at that. Creep's just gone. What can you do?
Nothing, right? And it's not like versus a Mirana, oh, I have solid movement speed on my creeps, you can't do much. Notice this taking a ton of damage, though. He needs to be careful.
He is indeed, but there's not going to be a first blood opportunity. He should still end up dead, though, but VTune, I don't think he escapes from this scot-free. One more right click is all that's required.
Got him.
They tried with the body blocks coming in from this Enchantress, but Hudwa couldn't make it happen. Now trying to at least get the counter kill. We don't have a Spike Carapace, but he lost the vision through the tree line. And remember, this is a Nyx Assassin. 4.4 base regen in tandem with this healing salve. By the time he comes back out from the trees, he's pretty much going to be full HP.
Still a good lane for the time being for Nightpulse, and it's probably going to continue going that way, right? Because you do have 2 melee heroes. The Nyx Assassin, even though he's killing the creeps, he's a pretty bad laner, weak stats and all. Other than the region that you mentioned, he doesn't really have much going for him.
You can see that reflected in these numbers right now. Sending them, been getting some decent CS under Lord 2, but the main CS winner so far has been Kiritich. Sand King, Hoodwink. You know what threat I experienced as a Morphling against this lane? Literally 0. Unless I badly misplay. Like, I have to mess up super hard to actually be threatened by this lane.
Yeah, he should be fine, right? And that's why he is getting that much CS. That is why they tried to block the wave. You need to make a lot of shenanigans happen. Nice glyph in the mid lane. That would have been 2 creeps that go to Squadix, but he takes them down anyways.
Invoker leading the charge here in this mid lane. Squadix just doing some good work. Just chilling. 16-4 versus the counterpart of 15-4, but it's not that much in his favor. And as levels go higher and we get more points for this Warwick, I think this Tiny should be fine.
It's fine, but Tinies have started losing the lanes in matchups that you wouldn't expect happening. Just the hero hasn't been looking that strong, and with all of the nerfs to the crash landing, it's just not that powerful of a hero. You will be hoping to burst down the Nyx and the Treant Protector a couple of times in this game if you want to do well. Nice.
Nicely done by Squadix. The thing is, this Tiny can't really play without mana. Doesn't even have access to the tree grab at the moment. So really good job by Squad X. Gonna keep applying this pressure towards mid. And what is Warwick supposed to do here? You just have to wait a few more seconds until you get the tree grab. That means that you can't really contest any of this wave that the Invoker is happily farming right now.
Hoodwink is getting low. Maybe he's waiting for one of his supports to die. Right, yo, Janter, what are you doing? Go.
Go feed, bro. I need mana.
You know, there are mid laners in pubs that are sometimes like that. You know, they literally think that they're the most important, which, you know, in some games they are. Let's not forget that.
Let's be honest though, psychologically, I want my mid laner to be an arrogant ass as much as humanly possible. I need this guy to believe that he's the best player in the world every single game. I don't want some guy who's like playing conservatively, putting too much respect on the opponent. You know, I want him to style on my homies.
Yeah, you also want him to not put respect on his teammates either, because he would need to tell them to murder themselves for his own sake. When you put it like that, yeah.
Listen, hey, I don't play support. That's a you problem, brother. That doesn't sound like it bothers me. Bottom lane, Immersion. Looks like he's going to end up dead in the jungle. Jansen and Kami trying to find this kill, but with Kiritich coming forward, this Morphling presenting a little bit too much strength, and Immersion gets away scot-free. That is... The problem with that play is that Kami wasted so much mana to do that. He's down to 120 mana right now, enough for literally one Burrow Strike at the moment. He might even have to go back to base.
They might not have pressured Morphling in this lane, but the Sand King did get quite a lot out of it, right? So he should be quite happy. And Taris not so much.
Taris will die. Worst case scenario, the kill goes the way of Warwick, who was being worked in this mid lane by this Invoker, but now able to catch up in the net worth department. Feeling a lot better about himself.
I'm surprised the Nyx Assassin didn't mind flare the creep, right? There was no way that he was going to be able to kill anybody, and he just doesn't kill the Cobbled Foreman.
Remember last game, or just before in the draft, I was talking about how Squad X plays this hyperactive Invoker, 6-minute rotations? Well, looks like the script is being followed yet again. 6 minutes, 40 seconds, he's heading towards bottom, and Kami does have the Burrow Strike, yes, but he still could be in danger here. Throws out the Burrow Strike, but there's the Tornado. Kiritich waveform through him. The Bushwhack from Jonta does catch the two cores involved in this fray, but it's not going to be enough to save the life of Kami as we end up losing our Sand King. Nice kill for VP.
Warwick is pushing the mid tower, right? He's doing quite a decent amount of damage to it. I'm not even sure how happy you are with this rotation, right? Because Warwick was able to do whatever the hell he wanted.
I mean, Warwick caught up in quite a bit of gold while he was farming there. And he had a sentry middle. He threw out the Avalanche onto Squad X. He might actually toss him towards where the Enchantress is at. Can he find the angle? No, he can't. Oh, that's so unfortunate. He really wanted that angle, but didn't manage to get him. So Invoker will live, and Tiny's woes will continue.
They're bringing the potato. We already saw today one of the towers falling after the potato creep dying. So let's see if till the end we'll do something similar. Nope, it has already been exchanged for the Wildwing Ripper.
They're gonna go middle and try to make a play onto Warwick, and he just grasp is out.
Beautiful.
We did have a very nice Hurricane, but it's not really gonna help Warwick in the end. EMP burns away all his mana. Notice took a Dark Rift to approach this fight, with the Pit of Malice holding back the Tiny. They are able to get that kill. And we see Notice happily just take the Twin Gate back just before it expires. That's what we call, my friend, hashtag efficiency, baby, coming in from VP.
Well, speaking of efficiency, V-Tune is 4.5k net worth, right? So that is a very efficient farmer. He crushed the lane, and now he's farming so much faster than everybody else. It is insane, you know? But the problem is that the cores of Virtus.pro are kind of okay with it because they're close-ish. And the other two on Night Pulse, those are the struggling ones.
Burrow Strike from Kami, but that might just be a Burrow Strike that precipitates his death. All his mana burned away. He has his form stolen, but
Morphling!
Morphling was way too high on the Agi, gets killed off by Janta. That's pre-level 6. They didn't even need the sharpshooter to make that happen. And now they want Squad X. Kami, Burrow Strike is available. They get the dust out. Bushwhack holding him in position. There's the Burrow Strike. And this should be Squad X dead again. At the same time, though, Immersion coming in, getting the heal out. Living armor, baby. Healing up Squad X. This Invoker with the lifesteal still alive. He gets a double kill besides being chased by 3 heroes.
How is that balanced, right? You are right-clicking and you're life-stealing more than 3 heroes are doing damage to you. It doesn't matter that they don't have that much damage, it still shouldn't be done 9 minutes into the game. And a bonus.
Some interest gained on the situation that they found themselves in the jungle. You know, in retrospect, you're never happy to end up like losing your carry. But like, we've seen the impact that Squad X can have when he has a hot start early on. And honestly, if you're playing Morphling, pre-20 minutes, right? If I've died twice pre-20 minutes, I don't really care that much. I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm playing Morphling. This is not my time to be super strong on the hero anyway. Giving this advantage towards Squad X could make a big difference towards the game, because that practically finishes his Witchblade now.
Still, I mean, of course it's still good for Virtus.pro, but when it comes to the Morphling, he's the type of hero that is fine dying in the first 5 minutes, but then overall you wouldn't want that to happen, right? So he's still very much unhappy.
Bottom lane, Dark Rift coming in, noticed. Easily able to catch up to Kami. Notice has been having a quietly, despite the lane having not gone so great in the top side of the map, with how much farm the Sven got. Since then, he's quietly been having a pretty good game. Very impactful Dark Rifts. Oh, the Fiend's Gate, sorry. I forgot about the new names for these spells. Still an old school player.
Yep, I think you're the most old school player that I cast with. Maybe Winter, but you're there close. I really like when I hear Dark Rift. Immersion, toss back.
Very nice toss back to Immersion. There's no way out of this one. Gonna get right click down, and V2 able to crack himself a double kill. The Invoker kill earlier, getting this. And I believe this is the first usage we've seen in the game of the God Strength. And this is exactly what you want out of the first usage. Not just getting the first 2 kills, but utilizing the last few moments to pressure the tier 1 tower and get it down off the map.
He has used it for farming, right? But yes, in terms of using it to kill enemies, this is gonna be the first usage.
Tower taken away, even through the living armor. What a stupid spell, but it isn't Dota. What can we do?
Yeah, living armor really much doesn't do anything now. It used to heal the tower a solid amount, now it just gives it a little bit of armor. Those heals are negligible.
Honestly, the only thing that's useful for this living armor is what he did for the Invoker, giving him the armor to lifesteal from. So he could just stay fighting. Top lane. They were running after V2, and it's 2 cores here, and they're bringing in a third. Squad X making the Ghost Walk rotation. V2, is he gonna leave this area is the question. He shows underneath the tier 2 tower. They see him. Tornado will come out. Notice, finding the Pit of Malice. There's gonna be the Firestorm damage. However, they recognize that, you know what? With the additional tower armor, the health regen, allies streaming in, probably not a good idea to dive this guy right now.
The idea was to force out TPs so that you can stop this mid lane push, but they want to fight now.
Launch going out right now, missed with the impale from Antares, but they still found the Pit of Malice onto Warwick, and that is a dead Tiny. Dude, to buttress the point I was making about Notice quietly having a good game, he was top, failed movement, he slowly but surely lumbers his way towards middle and arrives just in time to ensure the kill onto this Tiny hero. Shout out to Notice, man. And of course he's building into the right items. Mech, Pipe, Guardian Greaves, giving all the auras for his team right now.
Yep, and also the Sand King wants to go for the Pipe as well. I really expected the Blink Dagger early. This way, if Warwick gets it, you only need to keep tabs on him. If both Kami and Warwick would have a Blink Dagger, then you would be okay on the side of Nightpulse, because when one guy misses, everybody is scared, and then you can just alternate between the two, and the enemies are always going to be feeling a little bit frightened to do something on the map.
How do you feel about this Morphling build, having queued up the SNY directly into going for Butterfly? You like this?
The SNY I'm okay with, so that through the Avalanche you can start morphing, right? Or popping the BKB. So that I'm cool with that. I guess it's fine, right? I think he recognizes that the Sven is probably going to be the only issue for him throughout this game, and then Butterfly does make sense.
Now Sven is going to be in that awkward position, deciding, do I go crit first or MKB first after I finish my BKB Harpoon? Honestly, I think MKB, if there is a Butterfly on the enemy team, for the Morphling, might be so important that you even skip getting the full Harpoon for now. You just go like Echo Saber, BKB, SNY, Daedalus, or MKB Daedalus, and then you decide if you need the Harpoon later.
Warwick no mana, 0, and he really doesn't want to die and really doesn't have a choice.
Yep, he's gonna be dead whether he likes it or not. He was only 600 gold shy of picking up a Blink Dagger, but now that particular path is gonna be elongated. They're not done just yet. Antares finds the stun out onto this Enchantress, and it's gonna take a while, but nonetheless they will succeed. The Mind Flare secures a double kill for Antares. Bro, this, I still don't know why this hero is not picked more often, man. Personally, I don't know why it's not picked in games where, especially with this Nature's Prophet and Clockwork is banned. We're seeing some of the prowess of this Nyx Assassin. 5-2-1 in the first 15 minutes of the game. And we're not done just yet. Nyx, he TP towards middle, and look again, bro.
Got him.
It's Antares, showing why this hero is so great. Mega kill streak for the Nyx Assassin. 11-6 at the 16-minute mark.
Full Solar Crest as well, right? And coming back to your question, the reason people don't get him is, well, one, you mentioned the Clockwork, right? There is a couple of good heroes that out-roam him quite a lot and out-lane him quite a lot. Second, of course, is he is very weak in the lane. It's very rare that you can get a good laning stage. And really one of the reasons why this Sven is having such a good game and the Underlord kind of suffering is the Nyx Assassin. So he needs to have some impact to justify this hero being picked.
Some of this impact might be present in this mid lane as they have found Kami. The MP burn will be there alongside the Impale, but they don't feel like diving at tier 2 tower. And even though they didn't get the kill, the win was achieved. Look at Night Pulse. They literally brought all 5 heroes to this mid lane. They're not going to find anything out of VP. A lot of wasted time from them while Kiritich is still farming in the top side of the map.
What is this build without a Dagon? Oh, they found Invoker.
The Invoker Squadrons get tossed back. He's gonna get bursted away. Nicely done by Night Pulse. Can they reach for more? They got the dust out onto Immersion. Warwick on top of him. Avalanche available in 1 second. He will throw it out, tossing him in towards V2. Letting the God Strength Sven finish him off. A killing spree for the Sven. 2 heroes brought down. And Night Pulse also managed to equalize the gold advantage thanks to those kills.
Yep, very, very good, right? Tiny finally getting an impact in this game. So far, he has only been bullied from the very start, and you get a blink, you immediately make a good play. If Warwick can get a couple of good tossbacks throughout the game and continue delivering, this Tiny pick will pay off, but this is only the start.
Antares, very nice D ward from him. Warwick knows exactly where he's at though, considering going in. Junta popped the smoke, but the Impale misses from the Nyx Assassin. Won't matter in the end though. Junta should still end up dead. V2 coming closer though, throwing the Stormhammer onto Antares, stopping them from chasing this Hoodwink. You know what I keep forgetting, dude? I keep forgetting just how fast Hoodwink is as a hero.
Yep. You use the scurry, get close to the creeps. The Sven gives you extra movement speed. Suddenly you are almost maxed out. Let's see, how is the Sven looking in terms of the... Okay, he has a BKB and was the Harpoon next, has an SNYQ. The Morphling changed his mind and went for the Manta anyways, which it isn't a great Manta game, but it is a Morphling, right? So Manta is just... most of the game's kind of a given.
I mean, you can just drain Stormbolts, I suppose, using the Manta style. So that might be part of the rationale.
But it's hard. It's hard to disjoint it, right? Because it still stuns in the AoE. So you really need to do it perfectly.
You need to be like How Morphling to be able to get that off reliably. Antares heads into the Vendetta. He breaks the smoke and he gets away from the avalanche of Warwick. Bro, pick Nyx Assassin. I'm telling y'all, this hero just putting in some work right now in the second game.
Yeah, I've listened to you. I have like 1,000 games on the hero, so no problem, no problem. But yeah, I'd love to see it more. I just think that people are picking it in games where it's extremely good. That's the rationale, and that's why it looks so good. If people would start to first pick this hero, I don't think his win rate would be all that great.
Yeah, I'm with you. Certainly a not just specific hero to pick in the draft, but a specialist hero to play in the game. It's sort of like
Exactly.
IO from a few years ago, right? You can't just pick IO. You have to have like an IO player in the team.
Yeah, somebody needs to be a spammer. For a Nyx Assassin, it's not as much, but of course there is a huge difference between a okay Nyx Assassin and like a god tier 1.
Yeah. It's like when I play Nyx and when I watch Kaka play Nyx. Very different game.
I was thinking you were gonna praise me, but sure, Kaka is almost as good.
Oh, I haven't watched your Nyx games, you see. I don't want to gas you up and then not have like a backup for the rationale for the gas.
Yeah, I haven't watched you play Morphling, but if somebody asked me, yo, who should I ask about Morphling tips, I'd say Snare.
Okay. Fair enough. Talent Nyx Assassin is Nikola Babic. My man Harry Creek knows what's up. He's Harry Nyx. actually.
That's
First
a
Roche
roche
of the
that it
game.
looks like.
Yeah, and they're so far away on Radiant side, they can't contest us at all.
Nyx did steal the Wisdom Rune, so that's a solid one for sure. You know, you get something for it. Now the question is, what can Nightpulse do with this? Because they lost, or Virtus.pro gained the 2k gold lead while this was happening, gained some extra experience as well while this was happening. First things first, shove out the waves. Mid lane, top lane need to be shoved out, and then it's probably hunting time.
The thing that kind of sucks about their draft is that we didn't really speak about this earlier, but their tower push, super, not even lackluster, just bad, heads up. If they don't win a fight, eliminating multiple heroes, I don't see any hope of them being able to siege tier 2 towers, let alone the high ground for Nightpulse.
Yeah, their sieging is bad, but their tower push is actually good, right? If the enemies are dead, the Tiny and the Sven do deal with the structures quite nicely because they have very high damage. But yeah, the sieging with 2 melee heroes that are easily kiteable is not good.
They did just get an AD rune on this Tiny as he's building into getting his Kanda for the game. I think it's being delivered to him now, or at the very least a phylactery is being coming in. So a lot of more magic damage. He might even find notice here. Comes across him, Warwick gets the avalanche. Can he get the toss back towards the Sven? Bushwhack will be there. Here comes the Sven, laying in the damage. They don't even need the god strength. And Vtune finished off the full harpoon, but nonetheless had enough damage to be able to bring down the Underlord there. Maybe start to take over this jungle away from the VP lineup.
Yep, that is very nice approach for Nightpulse. They did shove out the waves. They went for a move. They got a core kill out of that move, and it's bad that they're losing the Sand King.
Bye-bye. Sorry, bro. What can you do?
I think now you can defend. You do have a glyph. Your Underlord is coming in a couple of seconds. Go through the twin gates. This tower is not gonna fall.
Back up. Fortification was popped. Also, they were making this move from Nightpulse down bottom, hoping to kill the Invoker who was showing on wave. Then the Invoker just went top, TP'd in,
they're
helped
getting
to kill
it.
off the Sand King. They still do get the tower. They didn't marshal enough resources to defend this, and now they just jump onto the Nyx Assassin. Nyx looking like he's gonna end up dead first. He does die, but Morphling comes in from Kiritich, and look at the damage from this Morphling. With this new butterfly picked up, they did not see this one coming. The right-click output is way too high. Enchantress doing her best to try and run away from this one. Notice has put off Malice available again in 2 seconds, but a little bit too far away. They might be able to get forward, but unfortunately, they do not have any blink daggers, so this Enchantress will be fine.
Even the Nyx dying there was just his own mistake, right? First of all, he saw that he was gonna miss the Impale, then he charged it up a couple of times, not even using it in the end. And then he didn't use the Spike Carapace when the stuns started flying his way. So even that could have been played a bit better, but in terms of setup, Virtus.pro did everything right. I'm very surprised that Nightpulse were able to get the tower, and I don't want to say get out scot-free, but get out better than expected.
Still have the Sven at the very top of the net worth. They're gonna smoke up again. Sand King opting not to buy Blink Dagger in this game. Maybe very late, because maybe the Shiva's got next. They're smoked up behind him. Warwick has the Blink, hoping to find a target. VP positioned very well right now. Squadix not showing. Oh no, he showed! Oh, my bad, Squadix. The Caster's Curse is too strong, my friend. That one is on me. I'm sorry, my G. That's a huge kill to pick up for Nightpulse. It could lead to a tier 2 tower falling now, Harry.
Yeah, they could have gotten absolutely nothing from that move, especially because nighttime was coming and they wouldn't even spot him. But that was that 1 second where he poked his big nose from the tree and he got spotted. Like, it's a disaster, really. In any different circumstance, right, he would have lived right in that corner. Just if the nighttime comes earlier, if he doesn't poke at that point, it's just quite lucky for Nightpulse that they got that one.
Top lane, Morphling is here, Kiritic TPing out, he dodged the Bushwhack doing that as well. Very nice move, wasting some time away from these heroes. Immersion is still sticking around, just scouting out who is here, but they have to be aware that the primary target is this tier 1 tower in the top lane. Perhaps Immersion can like drop a grasp or two, interrupt the incoming waves. And if he does that, that's a huge win. Look how many heroes are situated in the top lane for Nightpulse. And they realize how bad it would be if they don't get this tower. They run headlong into it, take it down, and that finally opens up the map a little bit in the top lane as well.
One thing that Virtus.pro have to be thinking about is getting this Sven's BKB lower. He's been having it for a solid period of time and has only used 1 charge. These next 2 charges are when Sven could overtake the game, right? So what you should be trying to do is with minimal casualties, getting those BKBs down.
Notice this Underlord does not have access to a BKB.
But their gear will help.
They're trying to get this kill, but they're not getting it fast enough. Now Kiritic with the stolen Burrow Strike turns it back against Nightpulse.
Epicenter.
Waveform onto the high ground. Sunstrike will connect
Beautiful.
onto the Sven. Beautiful impale from Antares with Immersion dropping down the overgrowth. These heroes, no one's dying just yet, but VP managed to extricate themselves from a very precarious situation.
That was amazing from the Nyx Assassin. The Sven is cleaving, he uses the Spike Carapace. The Sand King has a Sandstorm and he stuns them both. They would have killed the Morphling 100%. The Epicenter was being charged up, and then with the stuns, even through the Attribute Shift, I think you get him down. But Nyx Assassin, Spike Carapace, both of them get stunned, fall up and Pale completely stops the fight. The thing is, VTune is playing this game impeccably, and he's not getting his BKB charges down. He understands how important it is in this game, and also how hard it is for the enemies to burst him down, really.
Speaking of the burst, they're gonna smoke up. VP, 3 heroes hoping to try and find a target. It's the Sven that they caught a glimpse of.
Morphling has BKB. That is the next big item that Virtus.pro want to use.
Warwick gonna be the first one found out. Sunstrike onto him. Warwick is dead. BKB activated by the Morphling now. Ideally, you want more than just a tiny kill who would have died regardless. But the rest of the side of Nightpulse are able to get out. We do see the Dark Rift, Fiend's Gate going forward. They come out, but the BKB from Sven, very careful with it, but he not only gets off the BKB, he dodges the Impale beforehand. Very well played coming out from the Sven.
Either way though, you got his BKB down. The high BKB charges are more important for the Sven than for the Morphling. Morphling does more burst, he has mobility built in, he can turn into Sand King. The Sven doesn't have that luxury, plus you're playing versus the Invoker. There's just way too many spells that are going to be a problem for you once your BKB charges are down, and even the 7-second charge isn't considered all that high.
I would just like to inform the world that Chelsea is winning 2-1, baby. A brace for Cole Palmer as we kill off this Enchantress in the mid lane. And that's also a gem on the deck. That's a lot of the Enchantress's net worth all of a sudden just taken away. Without this gem, she has what? Shred Solar Crest. Big amount of gold wasted here. Pit of Malice going out onto Warwick. They toss back to Tiny. He does not have his BKB, so he will just die.
No damage.
Having all of his mana burnt away. Even with the epicenter, it will not matter. This Pipe of Insight providing way too much sustain for Virtus.pro as they kill off 3, and now the tier 2 tower falls in a hurry in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, you're gonna be forcing out the glyph as well at the least, because if you don't use the glyph, if your night falls, you're gonna be losing your TSV in a second. And well, you probably lose it anyways because the Morphling has 500 damage.
Casual 500 damage with that Alacrity on top of him. All the Enchantress that he needs. Waveform forward. Enchantress dead. 43 seconds. No buyback. Oh my goodness.
I think you shove out the waves right now if you're Virtus.pro and you wait for the next Roche if you want to be extra safe. You could have poked on the top lane, gotten the glyph, but I don't think there's a reason for that. You to lose, and if you deal well with the wave control and secure the Roche, that's gonna be game.
Tell me, what do you make of this Aghanim Scepter on the Nyx Assassin?
Oh, okay. I'm seeing it more and more. This is the second time this week I'm seeing the Aghanim Scepter, so I'm a fan. It has been nerfed over the years multiple times, even recently, but it is a great sieging tool.
Speaking of sieging tool, they apply that break towards V2 with the help of Kiritich. They burst down the sphere, and Sunstrike connects onto Kami with the tornado. He dodges it for a moment, but he might not be able to get away. What a Yule Scepter! Dude, Kami! Playing some Dota2 here, outskilling the Morphling, but unfortunately Notice also shows up through the Fiend's Gate, getting the Pit of Malice out. This time around there is no counterplay option available for the Sand King. 2 cores down for the count, another tier 2 tower. And because Sven doesn't have buyback, this could be a second lane of Rax here, Harry.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you can do much about it. Without the Sven, you basically can't do anything, right? It is now or never. So the thing is, I'd rather they fight for the last lane, because you lose a fight now and you lose the game.
Gonna try for it. They're going onto the Invoker with the epicenter. Bushwhack on the 2. Sharpshooter hit as well, but unfortunately there's a BKB for the Invoker. He gets it all, throws in the Chaos Meteor and the Deafening Blast. They've already killed off the Sand King. Tiny follows him into the grave. Neither of whom have buyback. And you were mentioning it could lead to more buildings. It just leads to the game ending as GG, well played, is called. Night Pulse throw in the towel, and they will grant Virtus.pro the 2-0 victory, progress in the upper bracket, but more importantly, confidence in this new roster going forward.
They are just without patience.